Now I know some of you may be confused. The title of this video may be put as redo or a fresh start. Well, quite frankly, I may have been well off. I may have had a lot of supplies and a lot of materials to get me started. But I made a mistake. And sometimes mistakes can be grand in a sense. Well, in this case, it was a fatal error. Now I know what you're thinking. Couldn't I have simply just gone back to get my stuff? Well, it wasn't as easy as you would think. From constantly being blasted by fireballs from blazes, and always being stuck in a situation where I had to stop somewhere and heal, as well as I had a creature that was somehow summoned from the smell of blood. Let's just say my sanity also took a hit, and it eventually led me to a permanent death where I could not retain my gear again. I'm okay with starting anew, because hopefully, of this time around, I can take what I have learned and use it for the betterment of my survival on the first day and night. Or at least that was the plan. But of course, sometimes plans don't work out the way you want it to. And if you're new to the channel, as well as this mod pack, let me tell you what I have learned so far. Welcome to Fear Nightfall, a horror-themed mod pack filled with so many nasty monsters and mobs. Want to make your chances of surviving a living hell. The main thing you should know is that you cannot rely on a safe journey anywhere, for there are many things to fear at all times. Secondly, the time is extended in this mod to 40 minutes per day, so you may have more time in the daylight hours, but you also have to worry about what may come upon you when dusk arrives. Lastly, there is sanity. There are many ways to lose your sanity and a few ways to gain it back. But the importance of it is that once it's low, things will start to get crazy. You will hear things and you may see things. And the lower it gets just means the intensity, it will rise as well. Another important note is that you can't just expect even the passive mobs to just allow you to harm them or their families. They will attack you if you give them a reason that they should see you as their enemy. So that even means the villagers as well. They can gang up on you if you attack them. So with all that being said, let's get into how my first day went on my new world. Starting of the day was how you would expect. You know, I first went out and gathered beginning resources. I made some stone tools and I gathered some wood. I found some animals and I grabbed their carcasses from their unalive bodies. I did end up hitting a pig, and he wasn't too happy about that either. Oh dear. I soon found myself upon a sign that would lead me in the direction of a village, so I set out to see if I could find it. I did have to cross an ocean in my search, and let me tell you, I was filled with such anxiety just from the thought of what could be waiting for me in the gray, murkish waters. In my voyage across this eerie ocean, I found this poor chap stranded on some floating debris. I could have helped him, but instead I looted his means of surviving, because in this mod pack, it's every man for himself. Adjacent from the man on the debris was an island of which caught my eye. I did explore it, and let's say, I fancied the idea of living upon an island for this mod pack. I did find another island next to my potential home, and found out it was part of an archipelago, a group of islands closely scattered in a body of water. I did find a few bits of iron on this island, and I mined it. Then I turned around and headed back to the island to take claim of it as my home. When I reached it, I was met with the local aquatic inhabitants who wanted to skewer me and turn me into their next victim. So I went up to the highest point of this island, and then I just started clearing out a nice flat plane for me to start building my base. How big was this tree? I also made sure to smelt down the iron that I have obtained and then use it to make a cleaver so I can take the animals and turn it into sustenance for later use. Soon after I started working on my starter base, wasn't going for anything too fancy at the start. It was only meant to be built so that I may take refuge in it before the shadow of night would summon its legion of creeps so they could assault my home. I thought it would be a good idea as well to build a second floor where just in case I needed a place to run if things got hairy. And let's just say, I'm so glad I made that choice. I'd focus on trying to make it look nice, but right now, I'm going for functionality over greeveling it. I even came up with the idea to make a wall surrounding my front door, just in case I needed to get out and there's bad guys nearby. To do a wall, after building the wall, I went ahead and placed some torches inside to light up any areas where the monsters may spawn. And I also went ahead and moved the furnaces inside as well. I decided to also take an extra precautionary measure and add another tier to the security wall, thinking that it might help me later on. Then after that, I went ahead and placed some bamboo spike traps for extra defense. I thought it would have been a good idea to block off the top of the wall from spiders. I totally forgot that spiders can climb in this mod pack, though this was not helpful. After finishing up what I believe to have been an appropriate build to get my first night started, I went out and gathered some wood for torches and to use as timber to cook my food. I even planted the bamboo I have obtained from my quests. After resource gathering, my next step was to make a campfire, where they are used to help you raise your sanity. And in my opinion, they are probably the best way to do that. So now, with my first base finished, especially after taking extra steps to secure my survivability for my first night, night has finally creeped over my home, shrouding my island in complete darkness. So now, my first night begins. And this is how my first night went. Move the bed to here. Put the campfire on here. Okay, cool. Because the campfire actually helps me with my sanity. That's nice. Awesome. Oh, this is the first night. I'm already seeing creepers. They have a habit of blowing up when I least expect it. Yep, because we've all seen that one before. Yeesh. They really want me. Oh. Hey buddy, how you doing? How are you doing? What is that? There's little purple eyes out there. What is that? Oh, there's Hero Brian. A lot of baddies out there. And so far, the first night seemed like it was going really well. Until this happened. All right, got me an iron pick. Okay. What opened my door? And that is an excellent question indeed. Because this was not the first time that's ever happened. Oh dear. Oh dear. They're in. They're in my house. How is that fair? Okay. I'm gonna have to wait this one out. So I took this opportunity to read through the quests, as well as accept any rewards that was given to me during the day. So I waited, and then waited some more, with a close call here and there. And then eventually, the break of dawn started to shine through my windows. Okay, the sun is coming up. So that's good. But I was still so hesitant to make my way outside. What is going on? But I eventually gathered up enough courage to go outside. And then I ran into that guy and said, nope. And then I tried to clear as much mobs as I could. There was just so many of them. I fought off a lot to the point where my sanity dropped so much that it's like I had a PTSD attack. I spent a good fraction of the day just trying everything I can to raise my sanity from this psychological breakdown. I even swore I saw something outside the window as well. I don't know what it was, but it was kind of eerie. In the end, it proved too much for me to slay all the monsters around my base. So I devised a plan. Make a boat, hightail it to the beach, and sail far away so that all the monsters and mobs could despawn from my home. The first night was definitely something to remember for many days on this world. I thought it was a good idea to just start anew for my other world. I see that I was childish and immature. I was upset at the loss of my backpack and all the gear I obtained inside. So many diamonds and so many gold was lost. A lot of gear that I have obtained was done off camera, so you will never have seen that. But at least in this world, I could have had a fresh restart. A clearer mindset was my goal. But this game proved too much for me to handle on my first night back. I see that you have made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you liked it, please hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. As well, if you want to see more content like this, please hit the like button. Or if you didn't, you can go ahead and hit the dislike button. Enjoy the rest of your day.